Alwa's Awakening for the NES is a new game that's actually been out for a few years. How the heck does that work, right? It's interesting as a lot of indie developers have been making, games in an 8 or 16-bit style for current generation consoles and PCs. Madlittlepixels, they're a developer who's been around since 2016 and originally wanted to release their games for the NES. But for whatever reason, they initially released their debut game, Alwa's Awakening, on PC via Steam in 2017. Now later on, after some success on Steam, they ported the game to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, few other PC game storefronts as well. Then they also created a little while later a sequel called Alwa's Legacy, which was a 16-bit style game released in 2020. Now they decided to go back to their intended console of the NES and release a new version of Alwa's Awakening on a cartridge through Retrobit Publishing. So this version of the game will seem similar in look and feel to the original Steam release, but it has been rebuilt for the NES with additional areas, music, some of the room layouts have been updated, placement of the, some enemies and obstacles have been rearranged. So there's been some things tweaked and added to this release. I find that pretty cool. So this one's going to be a little different from previous Retrobit releases as far as cartridges they've put out, and I find this pretty interesting. So a few weeks ago, I did visit the Retrobit offices, more so to hang out, not so much business talk, but there was just a little bit, taking a look at some future stuff. And this was the one thing that they wanted to show me was this Alwa's Awakening release, just some mock-ups that they had, ready to go. And I was pretty impressed with the package. Not only, how it was packaged, how everything looked, but how they were going to release this game in a collectible digital form as well, especially for those who want to, support a developer, but they might not have a way to play an NES cartridge. We'll talk more on that in a moment. So with this cartridge, it's going to go up for pre-order as of this video going live and will be open. It's a limited open pre-order until October 17th. Now, like previous Retrobit releases, this is a special collector's edition with a certificate of authenticity that will have numbers printed on it to reflect how many pre-orders there were. So right now it's just mock-up numbers. That number will change. It's going to come with a poster, animated lenticular card, a full color manual. You guys know how I like manuals, man. It's a missing thing nowadays with current gaming anyway. And you're going to get like a little behind the scenes dev interview and a nice little slipcover for the whole thing, making it's a collector's package, right? Now, the one thing that I originally noticed with the cartridge when I saw it, when I was hanging out with the Retrobit guys, I noticed how much heavier and sturdy the shell felt compared to like other cartridges that I'd been handling recently and had, recently purchased anyway. And I pointed that out. I'm like, what the heck's up with this, right? So they are using some kind of special material for the shell that no one else seems to be using, which is pretty cool. It feels quality. It looked really nice. I asked them though, because I wasn't sure, before I recorded this video, because I was like, okay, that was a mock-up. Like, is that going to be the same for the final release? And they said, yeah, it's going to be exactly the same material and whatnot, and that they've actually used this material in previous products. And I was just like, wow, how the heck did I miss that? But maybe it was just more noticeable to me handling that cartridge shell because it didn't have a board in it. And I was like, whoa, this kind of feels heavy. It's like, there's no like real give to it, but it, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a really nice cartridge. But okay, the cartridge, it's a frosted white transparent shell that you're able to see pixel art of the main character through. I like this kind of stuff. Making a cartridge unique and special is where it is at. So this package with everything that I just talked about is going to be available for $59.99. Brand new NES cartridge for $60. Little collector's edition, bundle there. I like it. I think the price is fair. Always people can argue that, it's $10. It should be cheaper. It's $60. Should be cheaper. It's $1. Should be cheaper. I ain't here arguing prices. I think it's a fair price, in my opinion. Now, though I was extremely impressed with all that, the way the cartridge looked and everything and how it was packaged, I was just extremely impressed with something just so damn simple that they'd showed me with their digital release. So they now have a line of products called Digital physical combined with digital, obviously. I love this idea. It's so damn simple, but also unique and in this collectible form. I just wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing other big names in the retro gaming companies out there do a similar thing. I mean, it's bound to happen. I'm just curious why I haven't seen companies doing this, yet. I mean, it's a cool idea. Like, you don't have an NES, you play on Mister, RetroPie, your PC. You want to support, the companies behind these games, or maybe you use a flash card or a jailbreak on a clone console. This is a way to legitly buy the game, get something physical and collectible out of it, and have unlimited use of the ROM for any of your devices. You get a cool little package that's displayable with a retractable character USB drive that contains the ROM, the digital manual, and whatever other extras are on there, like the dev interview and whatnot, all for $20. I like that. This is a really cool idea, and I have a good feeling it'll be extremely popular in the community. It's a new game, so the idea of just finding the ROM online isn't something I'd be cool with, not right away anyway. But if you're cool with that, that's up to you. But I think for what I see as a fairly low price for a product like this, a lot of people will embrace it. Supporting a company that is making these games for old school consoles, I think it's really cool. So I really hope Retrobit continues on with this line. Maybe revisit some of their past cartridges they have done. Like Holy Diver would be a perfect candidate to have one of these digital releases, or even the yet to be released Mega Man Wily Wars that was revamped by Retrobit. I'd love an official digital release of that in a similar package. A little Mega Man USB in a displayable box. Hell yeah. So if you're, interested in any of this, if any of this interests you, the cartridge, the digital release, maybe both, I'll put a link to the pre-order down below. I'm really excited for this one. I've always heard of this game when it was released a while back, but I've never played it. Now I'm going to wait. I want to play it on the NES. Like, it looks cool. The game is like a platforming Metroidvania style game. And all the videos I've watched of it recently, it looks pretty sweet. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing this one. We'll also be doing a giveaway of this as well. Retrobit's going to sponsor a little giveaway that I'm going to run on my channel here. So stay tuned for that. If it's live, I'll have a link in the pinned comment for the giveaway. If it's not live yet, I will announce it on my community tab. So make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, do all that good stuff. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. And boom. Bye.